Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now live with BB3 TV.
Thanks everybody for jumping in here again today. I appreciate it. Hey, you know how we roll around here? Tell me where you're from, where you're watching from. Type it in the comment section down there. Let me know where you're watching from. And if a lot of times it pops up with Facebook user, so put your name in there if you don't mind at first, and we will know who we're talking to. Hey, what's happening, Carmen? As always, good to see you. Tom, my dude, how are you, man? Miss you guys. And go ahead and just tell me where you're watching from, and we'll jump right in. Hey, the X, hey Beck. So also, guys, in the meantime, please, if you can, hit that share button. Get this out to the groups. We have some very important information here today. This is a very important show because we're talking about security. This is one of those, topics that I get a lot of questions about. What are we doing for security? How are we going to secure the place? We have a lot going on. We have a great guest with us tonight, the head of our security over there at Critical Protection Services. So we're going to get a lot of your questions answered. Anything you want to ask us, put it in the comment section, and we will put it up here for our guest and everybody to see. All right, we got Steve. Hey, man, it's good to see you, Steve. Joe, Pilot Mount, North Carolina. Hey, man, we're looking forward to having you. And we got Dave from Alabama. Thanks for jumping in, man. Jake, how's it going, buddy? Leaving for your next cruise Thursday? Have a couple drinks in your name. Get her done, buddy. Absolutely. Hey, Walter, thanks for jumping in as always. All right, guys. So one of the things that you go ahead and keep commenting there, and I'll pop them up. Ashley, thanks for jumping in. So one of the things I want to do here really quick. All right. Everybody knows that if you didn't hear it from me, it's probably bullshit. Let's just go right into this, okay? I'm getting a lot of people talking about rumors. So let's just put this into perspective. If you go to an event, all right, and you're talking to somebody and you're doing this stuff, okay, chances are either somebody's going to hear you or that person or somebody is going to come back and tell me what you said. So keep that in mind when you're out there and you're talking and you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. One of the things that we're going to talk about here is artillery. The artillery thing just seems to be a pain in the ass for some reason. I got an email the other day, and I won't even mention who it was from, but I got an email. It was pretty snarky. And they're talking about, the fees and things like that and stuff that, look, guys, there's other ways that you can register if you don't want to pay the Fair Harbor fees on the new website. You can send me a check or money order directly. You can even pay us directly through PayPal, and we're not, you can skip the Fair Harbor fees. You can do that. These are options. But they compared me to at least the Daniel Lady Farm. It gives us the option. I mean, well, you have to understand, guys, what we're trying to do here for you is it's a very big undertaking. There's a lot going into it. And yeah, we absolutely have bugs to work out. Things have kind of come at hit us like a steamroller. So we're doing the best that we can. We mitigate the stuff as we, as it hits us. But what it comes down to is if you have something to say that's negative, okay, or you don't have anything to say that's positive, why even open your mouth? It doesn't make any sense. Do you even realize what we're going through to do this for you? I mean, we're going to, at the end of the day, I've heard people say, oh, Dustin's just doing this because he wants to make money. At the end of the day, we're going to be really, really lucky if we break even. So keep that kind of stuff in mind. You know, we're not thinking, oh, we're going to get rich and, oh, this is this. We just want to raise money for historic preservation. Okay. We want to help try to preserve the church that's over there. That's our goal. That's our mission for this event. And be able to do events in the future. Okay. So that's just one of the things. The other things is, we have zero artillery coming to the event. Stop. We have 9 Confederate guns. Yes, we don't have a lot of cannons. We have 9 Confederate guns and we have 12 federal guns registered. And we've been in contact, and a lot of these people are still coming to the event as far as we know. Okay. What you have to understand is we don't have a huge need for a lot of artillery because we're condensing the scenarios anyway. So we don't need an immense amount of guns to do what we're trying to do anyway. We're not doing the entire Pickett's Charge barrage. You know, the pre-Pickett's Charge barrage was 250 cannons, you know, and we're blowing everything up. It's just not what we're doing. But we do have guns, and we have enough guns. Yes, we have room for more. I'd like to see 16 guns per side. Mike, our federal artillery commander doesn't even feel like we need any more guns. So let's just stop with the whole artillery thing. It's so overdone. Really, I don't understand it. We were using Fair Harbor for BS 160 and have new issues. Yeah, but see, Fair Harbor charges that 6%, Steve. They charge that 6%, and some people are having the issues paying that extra dollar to pay for, to pay their 6% fee. Hey, TK. So Joe, I do security for event. I helped to put on, and after what happened a couple of years ago, security is definitely an important thing. Yeah, we're going to jump right into that here shortly. Yes. Hey, John, thanks for jumping in, brother. This is our cavalry coordinator. So, when it comes down to it, guys, you got to stop acting like this is just a joke. Like what we're doing isn't very serious. It's a very serious thing that we're doing here. A lot is on the line. There are people invested in this to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. Like, so when you go run around shooting your mouth off, like some Daniel Lady Farm lackey, okay, because that's what you look like. It's when you're doing that, you're not doing anybody any favors. It's kind of stupid and childish. I did answer this question, but I have 9 Confederate guns and I have 12 federal guns. And we're going to jump in again here in a bit. Mike Scheibe is going to join us here in a little bit. He's finishing up his lawn. We're going to talk a little bit about artillery since it's become such a big issue. How's it going, Marty? Thanks for jumping in. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into the security aspect of and we're going to invite Dustin Good in. Dustin is the owner and operator of Critical Protection Service. Hey, there's my guy, Doug. How's it going, brother? So without further ado, guys, let me introduce you to my friend, Dustin Good. How's it going, brother?
Hey, pretty good. How about you?
Not too bad, man. Hey, thanks a lot for jumping in here today. I know you got a busy schedule and stuff like that and fitting us in, man. I appreciate that. So I wanted to bring you in here today a little bit because, I don't know if you're aware of this, but a couple of years ago at the Cedar Creek Civil War reenactment, I think it was Cedar Creek, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. But it was the Cedar Creek reenactment, and there was a bomb threat. Security wasn't very tight, and there was a bomb threat. Now, they did actually find a pipe bomb. I don't know if it was a dummy, if it was just intended to scare. So anybody that's in the comment section, tell me give us a little bit more information about that. I wasn't there. Was it a real bomb? Was it a fake bomb? Let me know. Hey, we got Mike. So real quick, I want Dustin, hang in here with me for a second. We're going to jump down here. We're going to bring Mike in because we did just talk a little bit about the artillery, and I want to do this real quick. Hey, Mr. Scheibe, thanks for joining us, brother.
No problem, fellas. How's it going?
Hey, so Mike, this is Dustin Good. He is our head of security. He's the guy who's going to be securing the whole place during our event. So, and this is Mike, who is our federal artillery commander.
How you doing, Dustin?
Hey, pretty good, Mike. How are you?
Good, thanks.
All right. So, look, Mike, you know, we've been hearing a bunch of crap about artillery at this event. People are saying there's not going to be any artillery. People are saying, like, whatever reason, I've never experienced this in my entire reenacting career, as in, like, ever coordinating events, going to events, the artillery acting like this. Can you talk about it? I mean, what's going on, dude?
That's a really good question. You know, and I'm not, you know, if I knew what was going on, I could thwart it. I mean, you know, there's more rumors than truth, and nobody comes to the source, any of us, and asks the question. They just take the ball and run with it. And it's absurd. I mean, we have 2 full federal batteries. So, you know, that's 12 federal guns and 2 Confederate batteries. So at least 8, and plus probably 1 or 2 extra Confederate guns. So the idea that we are not having any artillery is about as ridiculous as some of the other things reenactors make up. So, you know, I'll leave that for what it is. But, you know, if you have questions about artillery, give me a call. Give Rick Gist a call, you know, give Tiny a call, or talk to one of us. You know, I am really not sure what the, you know, why people have a bug up their rear end about certain, you know, about the artillery. The artillery is going to be at the event. It's going to be fine. And it's going to be fun for the artillerists. So, you know, we'll be in the center of some of these battles rather than off in the background, you know, and we have a good ratio of guns for the amount of infantry we'll have. You know, so some of these events in the past, you've got gun lines at 30 or 40 guns, you know, and 200 people in the field, and it kind of looks silly. So, you know, I'm not sure what other the rumors are. Yes, we're asking for some authenticity standards that are minimal, you know, but that seems to, scare some people off, I guess, or make them nervous. If you have questions, once again, give me a call. You know, we can address it. I can talk you through it. And I've been doing that with all the artillery groups that are coming. So I mean, for the life of me, I don't know what the issue is. So
really, I don't either. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, we're offering a bounty. We're paying a bounty. I even offered more money for mounted artillery. I'll pay $450, you know, for a mounted artillery piece. You know, I know that there's not a lot of those out there, you know, but I'm just saying, you know, and we have all of the amenities. We're going to have hay. We're going to have all this, you know, water, and you have access to the stream, you know, everything that you need. We are going above and beyond to make sure that you have an incredible experience at this event. But yet people still want to sabotage it. I just don't understand where people's heads are.
No, and I think, you know, in the beginning, you know, what is this crap? I mean, that was a good word there. And sabotage is another good description because, you know, there's competing events that we all are aware of. And, you know, I guess they're jealous that some of the artillery is coming with, I mean, you know, I don't know. You know, so there's plenty of artillery once again, for our event, you know, and I think that once we get through the event, these guys see the scenarios and they have a good time. You know, I think it'll be a lot harder to pull these rumors off and, you know, and create all this mayhem. But it's a common thing in the hobby. People don't go to the source. They take rumors and they run with them, and you know, and it gets on social media, and then somebody else sees it and takes it for true. You know, I can't say any more other than to just call or talk to one of us. You know, and I'm more than willing to talk to anybody about artillery, and I have. You know, and we've been very clear about what we plan to do, and we're going to do what we plan. So there's no hidden agendas amongst the artillery or anything. We're going to have some good scenarios. Once again, the artillery is going to be active. It's and centered around, and some of the scenarios are really going to focus on artillery involvement rather than, guys just kind of sitting on the hill firing guns, by themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are gonna like Caleb's battery and Hall's
Mhm.
battery. You guys are gonna be firing in retreat. Like, isn't that prolong or something like that? Or how does
Yeah,
that work?
we'll work on some of that, but where the scenario is, we will retreat some, but the guns will get basically bypassed during one of those scenarios because it's we will have to prolonging up a hill by hand is not going to be easily done, but yes, but when the guns are active in the scenario, they're going to be right in the middle of it. So, and as the federal cavalry falls back and what would be the first corps starts to arrive, we'll really, that's where the artillery is really going to have some fun because we'll be holding back the Confederates as they try to cross Willoughby Run.
That's awesome. Jake has a question for you here. Are we doing gun captures?
Well, I mean, brief ones. I mean, if they are accurate, for the fight, but there weren't a ton that were actually captured. They were lost and then gotten back almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, even Cushing's guns technically were captured, but for a brief few moments, they didn't take
Yeah.
them all. Along with some of the artillery that was hit on Cemetery Hill
Crickets.
and the night, yeah, they were overrun, but the Confederates weren't allowed to take their guns away. So, I'm not going to get into too specific what might happen to guns in each scenario, but yes, if it's accurate, it will happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on here, man, to clear some of this stuff up. Can you tell folks how they can get a hold of you?
Sure. I'm on Facebook. Mike Scheibe. You can hit me up there. You can email me at Buck and Ball Living History or Buck and Ball US at gmail.com. That's my Federal Artillery email. And just hit me up, send me a private message or there, and I'll send you my phone number or whatever if we need to go further. And
All right,
Dustin knows how to get a hold of me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, brother. We'll catch up with
No
you soon.
problem. You guys have a great rest of the evening. Thanks.
Take care. All right, man. So thanks for being patient there, Dustin. We definitely needed to get some of that stuff out there. It's really incredible some of the things that we've had to deal with when it comes to this event. I mean, you've been out there, you've seen with your own eyes how incredibly beautiful that place is.
Yeah.
The other place that does this, it's a great place. The land itself, I mean, it's part of the battlefield. And Huell's Corps was out there, I think it was, and it was heavily used as a Confederate field hospital. It's not the place that's bad. It's, in my opinion, it's the people that are running it. But we'll leave it at that. I tried to let them know that, hey, I was willing to work with you and I was willing to do this and that. But the pettiness is so unbelievably ridiculous. I don't have any time for it anymore. And I think people are confused. People are confused about who I am, like the shit that I'm willing to take. Look, I'll be as professional as you'll be. If you're going to come at me and say some you're going to get some dumb shit thrown back at you. I don't care if it offends you. Doesn't matter. That's not the kind of person that I am. I'm putting on a Civil War reenactment, which nobody is doing anymore. Okay. You want to go to a crappy event, go to Daniel Lady Farm, have a blast. Okay. I know it's not professional for me to say things like that, but whatever.
Well, sometimes it might be they're a little jealous. They might feel that
should be.
they're a little threatened because you might be taking some stuff away from them. Hard to tell what it is, but I don't understand, why they can't work with you, and build it. Like you said, there's not too many reenactments going on anymore. So if everyone could work together, maybe you could build it bigger and get more people involved.
Yeah. we're focusing so much more on reenactor like experience. It's not all about, what can we do? What can we do to make more money? How can we make this more commercial? How can we charge people more? Oh, let's throw some really shitty hot ass bleachers up here and charge people $20 more just to sit on them. How stupid is that? I
Right.
mean, we don't want any part of that. This is about a reenactor having an incredible experience, and at the same time, educating the public as best as we possibly can. The public is not stupid. These people are not the people that come to see these. Yes, they don't. Some of them don't know about the Civil War, but a lot of them are very educated people who know a lot about the Civil War. And if they're sitting there watching this thing and they're like, "This is completely ridiculous. This looks really stupid. This is a waste of my time," we're not doing anybody any service by putting on a show that looks like that. So it's just really important that yes, we do have a little bit of higher standard. And what it comes down to is that people get like lose their mind over, or can women be, can women fill in the ranks? Of course, women can fill in the ranks as long as they don't look like a woman. Okay, can women camp in the military camps? Yes, women can camp in the military camps. That does not mean you can let your kids just run amok in their modern day shirts and shorts and Crocs. And if they're going to be there, they need to be in period dress at all times. These are not hard things to do, but people lose their minds. It's just unreal.
And I think a lot of your guests that come to watch the show, they want to fill that part. They want to be involved in that. So they don't want to sit in bleachers, things like that. They want to feel part of that action. And if you can bring it to them and they feel that, I think you get more people. And the word will spread if you do a good job this time, and people they feel that they were interactive. The word will spread, and you'll get more people instead of making it commercialized. People don't want commercialized stuff. We have too much of that in the world already.
Mhm.
So if you can make it, that people, feel that they're part of that reenactment, and that reenactment was real, it'll go a long way. It will.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, like, if I was gouging, I would have started my reenactor registration fees at $25 and went up from there. I started at 15, which is unheard of for a Gettysburg reenactment. It just is. I
Yeah.
mean, reenactor registration money is what generally funds a reenactment. And most of these guys know and understand that. There's places that'll gouge these guys for $35, $45. It's like, wow, that's a lot of money you're making these guys pay who are the show. If you don't
Right.
have these guys, you don't have a show. So so there's got to be a balance in, again, if these guys that are out there shooting their mouths off don't have, like, where's your common sense? Like, hello, we're doing everything we can to make this as easy for you guys as possible. We're
Yep.
giving you the highest quality firewood you're ever going to get in a Civil War reenactment. This is like high quality, and I split it all with a bunch of friends and people who came out to help. We're putting so much effort into this because we care about you
Yeah.
guys. We care about the hobby. We want this to happen. So that's that. Let's enough jibber jabber. Let's get to
Yep.
why you're here, man.
Sure.
So let's start from the very beginning. All right. First things first. I'm going to show you guys this. This is what the guest passes look like. I don't know if it's going to focus on that or not. Probably not, but this is the guest pass. The reenactor pass looks just like it. Each and every Civil War reenactor is going to be issued one of these passes. Okay. And it has to have a specific stamp on the back, as you see here. Okay. This is not particularly the right thing. This is a 2-day guest pass with the 2-day stamp on it. These get punched as they use them. So we're going to talk about how we're going to use these passes and how we're going to secure the event. So Dustin, take it away, brother. What's your plans here?
Yep. So you're bringing us in to do quite a few different things. One is we're helping you with parking. So I'm going to have several people there with for parking. We're going to have lanes set up. We're going to have an entrance and we're going to have an exit. We'll have multiple people there to help with parking. Um, so we're going to try to get everyone in the one field that we talked about, and we're hopefully we won't have to use the overfill if we can get everyone in that field. We'll go out. and we're going to mark each lane that way we can get the right amount of cars in there. There will be shuttles as well, so people don't have to worry about parking far away and walking to the gate. You'll have some shuttles running. Um, we'll try to coordinate with the parking staff and the shuttles. Let the shuttles know, hey, we have a group of people waiting, and try to get a shuttle there, and
You
then they'll
guys,
come up to the gate and drop them off.
you guys will have 2 8-passenger golf carts and 1 6-passenger.
So
That
yeah,
should be adequate.
yeah, that should be good, and we're pretty good at coordinating when people need to be picked up with the shuttles. Um, we'll have a dispatch center. So the shuttles can communicate with that dispatch center. That dispatch center can communicate with the parking individuals, and then they'll get the shuttles there as soon as possible, pick them up, and then get them back to the gate. With the gate, we'll have 4 lines. Within those lines, we'll have walk-through metal detectors. The metal detectors are we can get people in pretty fast. With the 4, we can get about 5,000 people in less than an hour. Um, Sometimes a little faster. It depends on the bag policy. Each venue is different of what they allow to have to come into their venue. Um, so when you go to an event, you'll want to make sure that you look on Facebook or that event's website to see what they're going to allow. Um, so usually we'll have a line. We'll ask people to put their items into a basket, make sure everything's out of their pockets. They'll walk through the metal detector. It doesn't alarm. They're to go through. When they're walking through, I have another individual that will be going through the bags. Um, they're looking for any knives, guns, pepper spray, things like that. Those are the 3 big items that venues do not allow in. Um, some venues go as far as not letting chairs, things like that. I do believe that you're going to let chairs, blankets in.
Yes.
Um, so, but the knives, guns, and pepper spray are the 3 main things that will not be allowed in. So,
Correct.
my staff will look through the bag, make sure all that stuff's not in there. If it's clear, they'll push it down to the end of the table. That individual that just walked through, they'll grab the bag and then they'll walk through. So the process is pretty simple to get in. If you do have a knife, sometimes people carry knives and they don't think about it because it's a habit. They may have a knife on them. We'll give them a chance to take it back to their car. Pepper spray, same thing. There's a lot of females that have the real pepper spray on their keys. That can't come in. So we'll give them a chance to take it back to their car. If they don't want to take it back to their car, we'll have a bin. We'll confiscate it. We'll put it in that bin. You can't get it back at the end of the show um, for various reasons. That causes a lot of issues at the end. So when we confiscate that, it's gone. We will dispose of it and we won't hold it just for the liability aspect of it. Um, One thing that we've found doing events, we do events from everything from 500 to 50 to 60, 70,000 people events. One thing that is common, people who are in Ubers or Lyfts, um, if they show up in an Uber or a Lyft and they have a pocket knife, they can't put it back. They can't take it back to their car because they don't have a car. So before you leave home, if you're taking an Uber or a Lyft, make sure you don't have your pocket knife with you because you'll have to surrender it and then it will get disposed of.
Especially if it was
So
given to you by your deceased grandfather.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and a policy is a policy, and we can't take a knife and hold it for one person because if we did it for that one person, we'll have to do it for everybody. So unfortunately, we have to stick to our policy, and um, we'll confiscate it and we'll dispose of it. And unfortunately, that's how it has to be, especially with the world we live in today. It's every day there's something that happens, especially with a large amount of people gathered. Um, you always have some sort of incident, and we're trying to minimize that. So that's why we're taking these precautions with the metal detectors and all that. We work with local law enforcement. Sometimes the venue, what they'll want is they'll want a sweep before anybody comes into that venue to make sure that they're like we were just talking about earlier about that pipe bomb. Um, we can work with local law enforcement to bring in a dog. We can search the area to make sure that there's um, nothing in there, and then we will coordinate that off, and no one's allowed in the venue until the gates are open. That way, everyone's checked. There is a question about reenactors allowed to have firearms as a CCW holder. Inside the venue, there will be no firearms. The only people who will have firearms, we will have a few armed security officers there. And then if law enforcement is there, they will have firearms as well. Those are the only people who will have the firearms. We won't allow any CCW holders to have it in there because if something does happen, we want to minimize the people who have firearms inside that venue. If you don't have a uniform on, we don't want you to have a firearm because that could end up in you getting shot um, just because you want to help. Um, so we ask that the CCW holders they keep their firearm at home or in their vehicle
All right, the
that they
event's
don't bring.
secure enough. We have
Yes,
armed guys, we have you guys. I mean, the guys that aren't but still patrolling. Everybody's connected by radio. I mean, the response is going to be fast. Law enforcement will be there. So, I mean, there's really no need for you to have a firearm. We've got you covered. Our primary concern is your safety and security here.
absolutely. Yep. And we'll take every precaution we can to ensure that everybody is safe. We'll have the mobile patrols. We'll have people walking around, and things like that. So yeah, if anyone comes to the property and they want to cause a problem, we'll have them removed. We'll tell them they need to leave. They don't want to leave. We'll have law enforcement step in. We'll trespass them and have them move on. Like we said before, our main focus is the safety and security of the people who are attending and the reenactors. We want this to be enjoyable for everybody, from small children up to grown adults. We want people to come and have fun eh, because we want to see this event grow. We want to have multiple events. So you know, both Dustin and I, we want to make sure that people come to this event and they enjoy their time and they have fun.
Absolutely, and not have to worry. Is there going to be
Yep.
something like this? These guys are professionals, and this is why we went this route because we wanted the guys that know what they're doing to handle it and to give us our own sense of security, our own sense of hey, this isn't gonna melt down. These guys, again, like you heard him say, you're gonna have people have to come through metal detectors to even get into the place. So my
Mhm.
question to you is, all right, let's say you get an ornery reenactor who says, hey, I don't feel like paying registration fees, I'm just gonna sneak my way in. How do you plan on handling that?
So they have the cards. At any time, we can go up to the reenactor and ask for the card. Um, if they don't have it with them, if they say it's back at their camp, we will walk back to the camp with them to see if they have the card. If they don't have the card, then we'll escort them to registration to get registered. If they don't want to get registered, we will ask them to leave.
Absolutely. Uh, My wife will be a part of the medical scenario, but she is motel militia and will be driving in each morning. I will be there overnight. When she drives in, one, will she park in reenactor parking? Yes, if it's still available. Will a shuttle be available from that parking lot? Yes, it should be. Again, you can get in touch with me or somebody will have a radio and can get in touch with Dustin. We'll get you taken care of. She is going to have to enter through the gate. Yeah, she's going to, that's the control point. Um, and unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to have to be. Any reenactor that leaves will actually be given a stamp on. Either we can stamp their hands, or we can restamp your pass with a particular stamp that we have. So we can actually make a line for that, possibly, to streamline that process. So Dustin and I will talk on that. We'll touch base on that a little bit more going forward to kind of make sure that's a little bit easier to do. Hey, here you go.
Yep.
You see that?
Yep, I did. So the process in Pennsylvania is quite extensive for armed security. We do partner with other security companies all around the country. We subcontract quite a bit. So with this event, we will be subcontracting for this event for armed security. Because I have enough on the plate with parking and the gates. I'm going to bring in another company to help with armed security. They will be in charge of that aspect, but everybody will be connected through the radio system. Um, we have a radio system that can have over 900 people on it at one time. We have a very good dispatcher. He has experience in it, and so everything will flow through there. So any issues we have, it'll be coordinated through everybody, even local law enforcement. Uh, we usually try to have a local law enforcement representative inside our command center as well. That way, if something happens, they can radio to those officers that are on the property, and they can respond as well. So there's no delay in response. Same thing with EMS. Um, we always try to get either EMS or radio, or we try to have a representative from the EMS in our command center as well. That way, there's no delay in the response. Sometimes with events, people get excited. There's a medical issue. People get excited. They forget where they're at. Sometimes there's a delay on the response. Um, if we have everybody in one centralized location, then that minimizes that response time, and we can get somebody there a little bit faster than if we have somebody on a radio talking to somebody else on another radio. At least the two dispatchers they can communicate at the same time and talk on two different radios at the same time. So so that's why we're bringing in. We have a 40-foot command center. It has Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi will bring the Wi-Fi in. We can transmit Wi-Fi. It has cameras. It's pretty high tech. So when we bring our equipment, we make sure that we are covered. Um, just not us, especially with the EMS. We want to work with EMS. Dustin, we want to make sure that you're communicating as well. So we have plenty of radios for you to use. So everybody, if there's any issues with um, like support or ops, they will be able to communicate with the command center as well, and they can get either EMS or security or law enforcement to their spot as well. So we have over, I think it was like 12 radios in that command center that we can listen to and respond to at any given point. So we make sure that every aspect is covered. Um, with the radio communications. And that goes back to um, there's been several issues with at music concerts with crowd crushes. There was one just a few years ago. I'm not going to say the name. They're still in litigation. Um, they had a crowd crush. There was people there. There was two security officers. They didn't have radios. People were getting crushed and they couldn't get a hold of anybody because they had no radios. I don't want that. Like I said, we do events from 500 to 60, 70,000 people. Um, and one big thing with me is I want my people to have communications, because if something happens, that's the fastest way to get a hold of EMS or law enforcement. If they don't have radios, then it's delayed, and then people get hurt. And That's the last thing I want is someone to get hurt.
Hmm.
The most important thing is people's safety and the security. So we have over 65 radios for our staff, and we have additional radios for the ops and support and things like that. So,
Perfect. Hey, Walter, to answer your question, registration should be open. The plan is to have registration open on Wednesday, so you can register. I think we're shooting for noon on Wednesday. That's as best I can tell you. If something changes, I'll definitely let you know. But you can be there, and like I said, the folks can show up earlier, but you're on your own if you do that. You understand that you're on your own. Like, um, landowner's not responsible for you. We're not responsible for you. Our insurance picks up on the 17th. I think it is. But you got to make sure that you understand those things. There you go.
thank
There
you.
you go. So yeah, man. It's so again, you have a very comprehensive setup. It's not like we're just we're sending guys around here. You guys are going to be patrolling the perimeter. You guys are going to
Yep.
be making sure that this event is got 360-degree security at all times. What's your plan for nighttime security?
So we'll have a few individuals that will patrol the night overnight. Um, I will be there. I won't be far away. Usually, if there's an issue at night, um, our policy is um, get a hold of a supervisor and get a hold if it's something big, something they need law enforcement, get a hold of law enforcement, start law enforcement that way. Um, but my staff, they know that their supervisors, including myself, my phone's on all the time. So if something happens, they can call me and I will respond, no matter what is going on. Um, I will be all over that property. During the day, and if there's something at night, they'll get a hold of me, and I'll respond at night too. Um, I hopefully at night I don't foresee anything really going on, but you never know. So I'll make sure I have my staff. They will make sure the patrol. We'll have golf carts, ATVs, things like that at night that we can patrol. They can get around the grounds pretty fast. The grounds um, it's a pretty big area. So we'll have ATVs as well at night. We're not going to use the ATVs and stuff during the day. We'll use we'll be on foot or we'll use the golf carts during the day.
Yeah, the idea is that we're keeping we care, and Dustin understands how I feel about this. I don't want vehicles all over the event site messing it up. And now the parking lot's a different story. If these guys can run those things in the parking lot and around the event on the outskirts of the event all day, to make it, there's going to be traffic control stuff going on out there. They're going to need those things because we're talking about a lot of area to cover. But within the event itself, you're not going to see these, gators and golf carts and stuff running around in the middle of the event, and it's just not going to happen. We are going to probably have brush fire crews and stuff like that ready to go, but they'll be stationed up in the woods, out of sight, out of mind, until needed. So we're not, tarnishing the atmosphere, because I personally really care about keeping it as 1863 as we possibly can. Marty has a question for you. Aside from the overall venue security, will there be any security within the camps? I mean, if we're taking part in the scenario and our belongings are unattended in camp, will they be secure?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have teams everywhere. Within the camps, in the venue, parking, everything. So every place that will have the reenactors or visitors, there'll be some sort of security there, some sort of patrol. So that whole area will be patrolled 24/7.
The other thing is too, and this is basically like a request from the landowners themselves. Nobody is allowed within like the main parking area for the farm. You got anybody who's been there knows that you turn right or you turn into the farm at the red house that's there, and you weave up through the farm buildings and stuff like that to get back there. That is off limits, and we're going to have that posted but that is off limits during the event. There will be nobody allowed in or near or around the farm buildings. It's just a safety thing. It's a security thing. The farmers maintain that it is a full-time running farm. There's millions of dollars of equipment in there. And we're going to keep that stuff off limits at all times. So please respect that, guys. When you see a no trespassing sign over at the house that's in the middle of the property, there's a house that's off to the side there. It's an Airbnb. They're excellent people. They're going to be there. They're friendly to talk to, but stay off their property. Let's just be respectful of their property. Don't go in their house. Don't go in their yard and sit on their hammock because you think it's cool. There's going to be no trespassing signs, and security will observe this, and you will be dealt with accordingly. And the same goes for the farm. So, just those types of things are going to be off limits. And it'll all be clearly marked. So there's no question of, I wonder if I stepped in the wrong place here. It was stated earlier that no farms will be permitted yeah. No. So if if I don't know if Chris plans to post pickets at night or on camps or not. That's up to the military commanders. I mean, I'm sure there's guys that are going to want to do picket duty. I mean, why not? Get the experience, immerse yourself, do picket duty, get the experience, have fun, and you secure your own stuff. One of the questions that came up to me just here on my phone, somebody messaged me privately. They didn't want to put it up here on the screen. They asked, will the artillery be secured if it's left out in the middle of the field? So if guys are leaving their guns, because normally what happens, Dustin, is there's the battle and everyone comes out, they pick up their cannons and they bring them back to keep them close to camp. There are some folks that want to leave their guns actually sitting out in the field. And I said, well, there's really no way for anybody to get artillery out of there because it's fenced in pretty much everywhere. And where it's not fenced in, there's security everywhere. Those guns aren't going anywhere. But what's your plan? If these guys want to leave their guns out there, give them some peace of mind.
Yeah. If they want to leave their guns out there, what we can do is instead of having my security team go out there and stand beside of them, we can stand back, make sure they're observed, because we don't want to disturb, like you said, that period in time. So we'll step back. We will, if they want to leave their guns, I'll post somebody. That way they can keep an eye on them. If someone comes up and they touch them or they're not supposed to be there, we'll stop them. Make sure that, are they with the camp? If not, you need to step back from the guns. But we will make sure that those firearms are secure at all times. And that's something that we can work out the day of. I'll talk to each individual camp and say, what is your plan? Do you plan on leaving any of your artillery out in the field? If so, when? That way I can make sure I have somebody in that close area that can keep an eye on those weapons. So no one can't just walk up, to them and grab them and take off. But
right.
Like you said, there's gonna be fence around. If someone tries to go through the exit with a gun, we'll stop them. We won't allow any of the firearms to go through the exit. They'll have to go through into the camp. That's the only way that the firearms that they're going to be using for the reenactment are going to be able to be transported back and forth from the camp, not through the main exit.
All right, sounds good. And I think we have some pretty solid plans in place. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I can contact Dustin. I'm not going to put Dustin's contact information out there. He does not need to be blown up by 150,000 reenactors. You guys can do that with me. And any questions, if I can't answer them, I'll go directly to Dustin and we'll get your questions answered. But we wanted you guys to understand that we take this very seriously. This is not a fly-by-night thing. We are paying Critical Protection Services, a professional organization, to take care of parking, so that goes smoothly. And what? Give me a second, Mike. I'll answer that. We're doing everything that we can to ensure that you guys are secure and you're safe. and you have that peace of mind. We're not going to have a Cedar Creek incident here in Gettysburg. These guys are professionals. They are on top of this. I have every confidence in Dustin. We're super thrilled to have you guys on board, man. So, we definitely thank you guys for coming on board and trusting us as a first time, major event. And you guys are trusting us. So that doesn't go unnoticed, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I am glad that you're working with us. Especially the first time. I want to see this grow, and hopefully we can be part of the growth as well. Anything that I can do to help you, let me know. I know we've had long conversations on the phone, and like I said, my phone's always on. If you need anything, let me know. I'll be more than willing to help with whatever I can.
Yeah, we sincerely do appreciate that. Mike, yes, there are people that I think are going to sleep with their guns. Then they'll secure their own guns. And if that's what they want to do, they're welcome to do that. But for peace of mind. And Dustin, when camps close to the public, then the entire place is your playground. You guys can take and you'll patrol the whole place out with the guns if they're out there. It's your job to do that. So, and I know you guys will do a great job at it.
Absolutely.
Hey, Facebook user, thank you. Appreciate it. He said Gettysburg. Yeah. Well, people say it their own way, brother. So, all right, guys, if you can, please head over to the PCWA.org and hit that shop button, guys. We are still doing an exclusive giveaway over there. $20 gets you one bracelet, but that bracelet gets you entered into it for a chance to win an 1853. I'm going to knock my lamp down. All kinds of other stuff to show you this beauty. An 1853 Enfield musket as a first place prize. And if you know what, hey, this is open to everybody. So if you come out and you're not a reenactor and don't have a need for an 1853 Enfield musket, you'll get $750 in cash. That's freaking awesome for $20. And your odds, like your chances of winning this are really good. That's really good. I don't know what they are because I haven't calculated, but it's really, really good. So go over there at thepcwa.org shop, and there you can even click on exclusive giveaway, get your bracelet. We'll send it out to you, and you're automatically entered into a chance to win that musket that is donated in part by the Maryland Sutlers. So we thank John over there for that. And, also second place prize is a loaded rucksack sitting right down here beside me. Not rucksack. I'm sorry. That's modern military. It's a knapsack, a loaded knapsack with a bedroll. It's got a tent. Oh, shit. I let it slip. I wasn't supposed to do that. I told you one of the goodies. All right, well, I'm not going to mention it again. Maybe you missed it. But it's got some other goodies in there. I won't tell you all of it, but now you know what some of it is. But it is packed with extra goodies and stuff in there. So you're going to want to definitely take a shot at that. That's our second place prize. And if you're not a reenactor and don't have a need for a knapsack, you will get $250 in cash for that. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I blew the surprise. Well, one of them anyway. You'll get $250 in cash for that. Third place is these awesome books written and compiled by Dom Ballo. Okay, you guys, these books are awesome. It is Parade Inspection and Basic Evolutions of the Infantry Battalion. It's the 4th edition, and Instructions for Guards and Pickets. Guys, reenactors, you want to up your game? Bam, this is the way to do it. Okay. Look how they're not very thick, very simple. I'm bending this because I'm reading them. I'm reading these books. They're excellent. You learn a lot. And if you want to be authentic and learn the tactics, that's the way to do it, guys. So go over there to the PCWA.org. And if you want to register, you see down here at the bottom, scrolling across the screen, it tells you how to do it. Okay. You click on book now. I know that there are some people that have had some issues registering for the event. Okay. When you go to the website, down at the bottom, there's this little button that says book now. That is for everybody. I am going to tell you, if you're a sutler, don't click on that. Just get in touch with me. They didn't set that up right, and we haven't worked out the bugs yet. So if you're a sutler and you're interested in registering, please contact me directly, and we'll get you squared away. But for reenactors, when you click on that book now, it's going to take you to a screen. It's going to show you a calendar, or you're going to select Union or Confederate or whatever. Then it's going to pull up a calendar. There's going to be a little date there. It's the 22nd. It's the only date you can click. You click on that. You select how many adults, how many youth. You go through that. It's a really simple process. And yes, there is a 6% fee associated with it. That is not charged by us. It is charged by Fair Harbor. I'm sorry about that. But if you guys want to avoid that, you have like one more month. You can send me your registration in the mail. Okay. Right now, registration is $25. It has gone up. The deadline was April 15th. I tried to get it extended until this Friday. It didn't work. So the registration fee is now $25 per reenactor. And you can send that to me in a check or money order and made out to the Patriots of the Civil War Association. And you can send it to, I was reading something else. You can send it to my address, which you guys can get online here. Yes. So, oh my goodness, I meant to have this, I really didn't mean to have this paperwork here with me again today, and I forgot it again. But guys, there is a really cool Civil War trivia night at the Battlefield Brewery. Put up some more information here, man, because I don't have the paperwork with me, but it's going to be cool. I'm actually trying to build a trivia team because I want to go and crush this thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, guys, to watch the site. We'll actually post it again. If you go over to our group page on Facebook, you will see it over there. We did have it posted. It's going to be a good time, and you're going to definitely want to check it out. It starts on May 4th. He says, I think that's a Thursday. It's like the first Thursday or something like that. So you're definitely going to want to check it out. It's going to be a good time. All right. If we registered early on by mail, do we have to do anything else? No, you're good, man. You're good. Just show up. Go to registration when you show up, and then we'll check you in and we'll issue your reenactor pass. You're going to want to keep those passes on you at all times. These guys are no joke. They will do their job. Okay. So make sure you have that on you. Will you post an updated map of the site? Okay. Yes. So those things are massive, and they're sitting right here beside me. I just haven't had a lot of time to sit down and actually draw everything up because I did make some changes to Sutler Row. So check this out. I'll tell you guys what's going on. So when we laid out the initial map, we were kind of fumbling around where to put the activities tents and things like that. So I decided to use the activity tents as kind of like a divider to divide the Sutler parking and staff parking from Sutler Row. And we decided that what we're going to do is the way we're going to set up the rows is we're actually going to create like a town square in the middle of Sutler Row. And there's going to be a brass band that's going to be playing in there, Civil War brass band playing on actual period instruments. It's going to be really, really cool. So we're going to be working with that kind of stuff. It's going to be awesome. But I will post the updated layout on that map when I do let that out, put that out in public. All right. Make sure you give Dustin a list of known offenders who love to sneak into reenactments. Yes, there are people that you will get a list. It's a short list, but we have a little bit of a list of people that will not be stepping foot on the property. We don't need trouble. And we already know that there are some troublemakers out there, and we're just going to avoid that. And you'll know ahead of time. So. All right, guys, if anybody has any questions, please reach out to me. Let me know. I'm always available, as you guys know. Stay tuned for the next time when we go live here and talk about something. But we are getting close, guys. It's right around the corner, man. You're going to want to get registered before it jumps up to like $30 or the $35 walk-on fee. Get yourselves registered. We are over or close to or over 2,000 reenactors registered right now. Again, I'll reiterate, we have 9 Confederate cannons, or eight or nine Confederate cannons, 12 Federal pieces of artillery. That is plenty of artillery, and we could use more. And each and every one of those guns is getting a $250 bounty. Okay. And we do have, I'm not sure how much cav, but we have a lot of cav, and these guys are awesome. And a lot of the guys that have come out, and I do want to give a shout out to all of you who have come out and helped us and put some time and effort in out there at the site. We so appreciate you. Also check out Homespun Historical Ventures, guys. They have some events coming up here you're definitely not going to want to miss, so go check that out. And then that's going to do it for us, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Dustin, thank you so much for being here, brother. I appreciate it. And till next time, guys, we'll see you. Take care.